This video is going to explain to you how to complete today's lesson, which is day 1 of the Captains of Industry or Robber Barons assignment. So step 1, this is the directions video. If you click on that where it says read Captains of Industry, Robber Barons directions, it shows you this page right here. This is the directions page. It's linked to each of the lessons that deal with this project. It is a 4-day project, and I'll just kind of go through this for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Like I said, this is 4 days, and you are going to determine in these 4 days who the greatest captain of industry or robber baron of the Gilded Age was. You're going to evaluate the 4 most well-known industrialists of the Gilded Age in order to prove who is truly the greatest. You're going to be looking at Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, and J.P. Morgan. You're going to be answering 2 questions. Who is the most ruthless, cunning, intelligent, money-making captain of industry in the Gilded Age? And were these men captains of industry or robber barons? So linked here next are the notes page that you're going to be submitting and the resource sheet. And you'll notice that several times throughout this project you will see these links. There's lots of different ways to get to the notes page and the directions and the resources page. This is just one of them here. And we'll go over that in a minute. This here is the rubric. So right up front you know exactly what you need to do to get 100% or to get the grade that you would like to get. Go through the requirements here. Easy 5 points. All items are turned in by the due dates. Provide at least 10 pieces of relevant background information. Demonstrate a thorough analysis of why you chose your robber baron as the greatest using relevant details and ideas. Include 5 pictures. Utilize creativity throughout the project with backgrounds, fonts, colors, and effects. Correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation is used throughout the assignment. You do have 4 days to complete this. Follow these steps on this next page here, and if you complete all of those steps in each day, you will finish on time and have no problem getting those points for turning it in on time. So day 1, that's today, you are going to start by researching each man using the resources list, like I said. Each of the kind of directions and research lists are going to be linked several places. Here they are again. So we'll look at that in a second. And it says click here to access the notes page you'll use. Make sure that you take notes. You're going to be submitting them. You do want to find out as much as possible about these men and do as much work up front so that you can fully support your argument and so that you have less work to do later on in this project. Some things to consider when kind of deciding who you think was the greatest. What methods did each man use to make his fortune? How much did the man's life and background influence the methods and actions? How did each man treat his workers? Were there any strikes or problems with employees at each man's business? What was each man's lifestyle? Did he live in luxury? Did he share his wealth with others in any way? And how is he remembered today? There is nothing to submit for today, day 1. You're going to complete half of the notes page today, and then you'll finish it tomorrow and submit it tomorrow. So nothing to complete today. Remember, the more work you do up front, the less you'll have to do, later on. If you have any questions about this, please email or call me. I want to take a look at the notes page or the research page now. These are research resources for you to use while you're completing this project. These resources will have everything you need to complete this, but if you find something else that you would like to use, you just need to run it by me first. Let me know so that I can look into it. But you don't have to, because like I said, everything you need is right in here. So in your book, you can find them in chapters 14 and 36, 14, 36, and 37. So you can use those. You can also use World Book Online, which is a wonderful, wonderful tool. and really has everything you'll need. I'll show you an example of Andrew Carnegie's. You do have to sign into WorldBook, and the password and username are the same. It's PA Distance 1213, and I'll put that in the resources page here. But as you can see, it has early life, rise to wealth. It has all kinds of information about these men. Shows you how to cite the sources. So WorldBook Online is a really, really awesome source. You can also use the search bar up here to look for different people. There's an images and audio related information. So this is a really, really awesome source. You can learn about the different strikes that Andrew Carnegie faced with his workers. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a hint into Andrew Carnegie as well. So this is a really awesome site, and I have it linked for each of those men. There's also history.com and biography.com that you can use, as well as, like I said, those different resources like your book and things. But I would probably start with your book and WorldBook Online because those are really, really comprehensive, and you probably won't even need any other kind of sources for those. But like I said, you do have to sign into WorldBook. That might be a good idea to do before you click on those links, because once you're signed in, you can click on those and it'll take you right to those men. So let's go back to the directions page. I want to show you what the notes page looks like. So you can access this by the directions page. It's also in step 2 of the lesson for today. It's this chart here. Again, this is not due on the first day that you started. This is going to be due on day 2 of your project. So you're again exploring if they are a captain of industry or a robber baron. Captain of industry is a businessman whose accomplishments are looked at in a positive light due to not only the massive wealth, but the positive contribution made within society. And a robber baron being a businessman whose accomplishments are looked at in a negative light due to the scrupulous methods used to gain his wealth. So again, is he, more sneaky? Is he treating his workers poorly? Those kinds of things. So you're going to answer these different questions about all 4 of these men. In what industry did he make his fortune? For Andrew Carnegie, you would type it here, Rockefeller here, Cornelius Vanderbilt here, JP Morgan here. What was his background? Did it influence his actions? If there are 2 parts of the question, make sure that you answer both questions. You can see this goes on to page 2 here. So make sure that you scroll down and you continue typing until you get to page 2. It might seem like a lot now, but remember you do have 2 days to do this. So if you want to break it down, maybe do 2 men one day, 2 men another day, that might be a good idea. But make sure that you get this done and that you divide up your time so that you do have enough time to complete this whole chart and turn it in on day 2. The last thing on your lesson for today is to review the plagiarism slideshow. This is very important that you make sure that when you are turning in your project that it is not accidentally plagiarized in any way. So please take a minute to review that. Make sure that you understand it. If you don't, please let me know. And I would be happy to go over that with you now. Again, nothing to submit today. Tomorrow you will need to turn in that notes chart to make sure that you get that done. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything. If you can't find any of the questions there, I'd be more than happy to help you. Just let me know. Give me a call or email me with any questions. Good luck.